Well, she has been cooking since she was able to climb up into a chair. Danielle Bussone of Veggin Out and About is back with us in the kitchen this morning. Of course, she is the author of Time for Change, Whole Foods for Whole Health. And today she's here to share one of her favorites. She's been telling me about it and she's going to prepare it for us today. It's great to have you back on the show.
It's a pleasure to be back.
You have such an inspiring story about just getting healthy and making that change.
Well, when I had some serious health problems, and when I changed to a plant-based diet, it really turned those problems around. And I had been through actually several years of hospitalizations and near-death experiences, and when I changed to a plant-based diet, my pain went away in one day. And in 3 weeks, I was off of blood pressure medication. I no longer had acid reflux, and over a period of time, I lost 65 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
All from making those changes and committing to that lifestyle. She's got an incredible story in a wonderful book that you can take a look at. But what we're making today is something that I know you've been talking about for a while, so I'm going to let you share a little bit about this particular recipe.
Okay. Science is showing us every day that we need to move away from animal protein and eat more fruits and vegetables. But do we really want to give up our favorite foods?
Yeah.
And this is a way to keep some, this is one of the ways that I found to be able to enjoy some of our favorite foods. This will actually become pulled pork. This is a dish, it's made from jackfruit,
okay,
which is a huge plant. It's native to India, Southeast Asia. It's been cultivated in India for over 3,000 years.
Okay.
And it's used as a meat substitute. When it's ripe, it's used for, when it's ripe, it tastes like a combination of an apple, a mango, a banana, and a pineapple.
And how heavy are they? You said they can weigh about
100 pounds. They can weigh up to 100 pounds. I bought one that was about this big, and it was probably about 15 pounds.
Okay.
And it was a very interesting thing to work with. If you want to use it for meat substitute, it needs to be green.
Okay.
And you can find it in cans. You can see there. You can get them at the Indian store, the Indian grocer in town. Spice World is the name of it, or you can get it at the stock pot.
Okay.
And if you want to try a fresh one, which I recommend because they're really great, you can have Spice World order them for you.
Oh, okay.
And when they come in the can, they look like this. And they're preserved in brine, so I recommend that you soak them in water to get some of the salt out of it, because salt is not really good for our arteries.
Okay.
And see, it develops sort of a pulled pork texture.
I mean, it really does. It looks like pulled pork before you add the sauce.
Yeah, and of course, it's much healthier. It's very high in soluble fiber.
Okay.
It's high in protein. It's got lots of important vitamins and minerals, so it's very healthy for you.
Now, did you add something to that?
No, that's all this is pulled pork. And this is a southwestern chili seasoning, you know, like a Mexican seasoning.
Okay.
And I'm using a tablespoon of that. I'm using a tablespoon of paprika. This gives us our color and of course, flavor and nutrients. This is a teaspoon of garlic.
Okay.
And we have a teaspoon of onion powder. These are powders, of course.
Yep.
Are granulated. And this, we're going to put in some, a quarter of a teaspoon of brown sugar.
Okay. And that, of course, like you mentioned, was going to give it the color that we're used to. Mm-hmm. And then coming up here in just a little bit, you're also going to show us how to make the sauce, which you use chocolate in.
Well, I'm not going to show you how to make the sauce. The sauce is in our book. It's a little time consuming for this, but I have some here that we're going to add to it.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that coming up in just a little bit since we're out of time, but we want to give everybody your information on how they can get a hold of your book and more recipes and some really great tips. And it is so fun to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us again.
It's such a pleasure.